Good morning, dear children. Let's begin with the next class, and that is physical features of Europe. Today we will be discussing whatever is given in point number 2, that is physical features of Europe. So let's get started. It is written over here that Europe has a great internal variety of landforms. Overall, the European terrain displays a north versus south spatial patterns, with plains dominating northern Europe, mountains dominating in southern Europe. What is the meaning of this? European plains, here terrain means what? Plains, display north versus south, spatial patterns, different patterns, separate patterns, while plains dominating in the northern Europe and mountain dominating in southern Europe. Means if we are dividing Europe into two equal halves, in northern Europe we will find plains, in southern Europe we will find mountains. So based upon that, there are four physiographic divisions of Europe. First one is Northwestern Highland, second one is North European Plain or Central Plains, C is the Central Uplands, D is the Southern Mountain System, which is subdivided into two, that is the Alpine Mountain System and Southern Chain of Peninsulas. Let's talk about Northwestern Highlands. These mountains extend from east, that is the Ural Mountain, towards the west, that is the Atlantic Ocean in the northwest. Please underline this first statement. These mountains extend from the east, Ural Mountain towards the west, Atlantic Ocean to in the northwest. It includes the mountain system of Finland, Sweden, Norway and Scotland. They consist of sedimentary, metamorphic and igneous rocks which have been lowered by weathering and glacial erosions. The mountain top have become rounded and smooth and broad valleys at which valleys have been formed by glaciers. Now what you need to underline? The next line. These are known as Cladonian Mountain System. It stretches from northeast to southwest and forms the backbone of present Scandinavian peninsula. These mountains can be divided further into followings. These three lines are important, mark that. First one is the Ural Mountain. What it is given? These mountains separate Asia from Europe in the east. The Ural Mountain are very low and much diffused in the south. Means as it is proceeding towards the south side, its height is so low that it is equal to plain. What is the length? 220 kilometers. So whatever lines I have underlined, mark that. Come to Scandinavian mountains. Scandinavia consists of Norway, Sweden and Denmark. In fact, Scandinavia exists on Fennoscandia. Simply mark that. What is given in Fennoscandia? It includes the Scandinavian Peninsula, Finland and Kola Peninsula. These mountains have been eroded by glaciers with the peaks lowered and rounded. The Kolan Mountains in Scandinavia. Whatever lines is marked, kindly mark that. What is given next? Due to glacial erosion through the ages, these highlands have been reduced to sea level, but in some areas still they stand up as a massive mountain. Means at some places its height is reduced due to erosion, in some places it is still mountain. Next, glaciers lake are found in abundance. In Finland, so many lakes are found that it is called land of 10,000 lakes. Important. Kindly underline that and give it a star mark too. Now, what is next given? The subsidence activity has created a highly indented coastline of Norway, which is full of numerous fjords penetrating into land. Now, first of all, write down the meaning of subsidence. Sinking of a ground because underground material movement. Please write down the meaning. I am focusing on this for a little bit longer so that you can write it. Sinking of ground because of underground material movement. It means if the upper portion of land is sturdy but the lower is not, what will happen? Due to continuous action of the flow of water, the lower bottom of the land is going to be removed and upper portion is going to sink. That is known as what? Subsidence. Okay. And when we talk about indented coastline of Norway, which is talking about fjords, let me show you how it is. Students, this is Norway. As you can see, now look towards its coastline. There are various deep inlets in entire Norway. Okay, these inlets which you are seeing, that is only known as your fjords. Okay. Next one is the mountain of Britain. The Pennines of Britain and the mountain of Scotland is made up of old crystalline rock. Mark that. They are glacially eroded with round peaks and have U-shaped valley. Means what they are old fold mountains. Next, what it is given? The hills rise almost at the coast. Such coast is called Ria coast. Next one is Baltic Shield. What is given in Baltic Shield? The highland around the Baltic Sea is called Baltic Shield. Becomes important, underline that. Next lines are given. These are made up of ancient igneous rock and metamorphic rock and have undulating surface. What is the meaning of undulating surface? Wavy surface or curvy surface is known as what? Undulating surface. Next we are going to study is North European plains or Central plains. What is given? Lying to the south of Northwestern Highlands, there is an enormous plain. This plain extends right across the Europe from west to east, starting from southwest of England and going to the France, Holland, Belgium, Denmark, southern Sweden, northern Germany and Baltic states and ending in Russia. Except in Russia, these plains are made up of sedimentary rocks. These plains are broad in eastern part of the Russia and narrow down towards the west. The first two lines are important. Mark that. Come to the Russian plain and Western and Mid-European plain. What is given? It is given. The Russian plain is mainly made up of ancient metamorphic rocks, which quite long ago seemed to have sunk below the sea level and were covered by an ice sheet during Great Ice Age. These lines are important. Mark that. Next one it is given. The southern part where ice did not reach its covered by loess, which has been deposited by cold winds blowing from the north. Now what is loess? In the next point it is given. Loess is a very rich soil of steppelands and is almost black in color. It is very rich and ideal for growing wheat. Important. Mark it. What is next given? The Western and European mid-plain. It extends from marshes of Pripyat to England. These plains are made up of alluvial deposits laid down by rivers and glaciers. The greater part of plain is covered by stretches of sedimentary layers which give excellent soil for agriculture. So basically your marshes of Pripyat to England, what importance it is having? It is having importance of sedimentary layers which is giving an excellent soil for agriculture. Now let's see what is given next. In some places, hills have been eroded into basins like the London and Paris basin. There are many plains drained by the rivers such as London and Paris basin, plains of Lombardy in Italy, lowland of Andalusia in Spain, Hungarian plain and Wallachian plain of Romania. Simply give it a tick mark. Next one, the northern European plain is drained by a large number of navigable rivers such as Rhine, Seine, Don, Volga, Donbay and Dnieper. Thames is the main river of England. These all lines important and the last statement becomes more important. What is given next? The central uplands. What is given in central uplands? These are lower than alpine mountains 1600 meters above the sea level. They are considered broken remains of old mountain system called Hercynian system which existed before Alps was raised. Simply mark it. They lie between North European plain and Alpine mountain system. They extend from Atlantic coast of Spain and west through France, Germany and Poland. They include the Mesta in Spain, the Central Massif and Vosges in France and Black Forest in Germany. Simply give it a tick mark. Then the Ardennes in Belgium, Plateau of Bohemia in Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, the Ural Mountain in the eastern part of European Russia. Now, these names are basically of plateaus. The Mesta in Spain, the Central Massif and Vosges in France, Black Forest in Germany, then your Ardennes in Belgium, Plateau of Bohemia in Czech Republic and Slovak Republic and Ural Mountains in the eastern part of the European Russia. Out of these 6, you have to learn any 2. Let's come to the next statement. It is given, the Rhine and Rhone river flow through this region. This statement becomes important. Mark it. Next one is the Southern Mountain System. What is given over here? It is a complex region affected by ancient and modern orogenic forces. What is orogenic forces? Focus on here. Horizontal forces act on the Earth's crust from side to side, and these forces are basically leading to mountain building movement. Because of the orogenic forces, what happens? It is leading to mountain building formation. That is why we find old and new mountains, river valleys, peninsulas, and islands. The Alpine Mountain System. It consists of high ranges rising over 4,000 meters. In this line is important, mark that, which sweep in the great curves and from west to east across the southern Europe. These mountains were formed during the Tertiary period. These are recent fold mountains. The mountain building formed is called Alpine System. Please mark it. The mountains have high peak and steep valleys. Volcanic eruptions are common, as I was saying. Volcanic eruptions are common here. Etna and Vesuvius are the volcanic mountains found here. Which are the 2 important mountains? Volcanic mountains. It is Etna and Vesuvius. Mark that. Come to the next point. The Alps from the center of Alpine system. They extend over Switzerland, Austria, France, Germany, and Italy. Mount Blanc, 4807 meter, is the highest peak in the Alps. This becomes important. Mark it. Come to the next. To the west of Alps lies the Pyrenees between Spain and France, with the Cantabrian mountain in the northern Spain and Sierra Morena in south Spain. Apennines lies in the peninsula of Italy. This becomes important. Mark it. Come to the next point. To the east, the Alpine mountain system divides into 2 branches, the Carpathian and Balkan mountains. Important. Mark it. That forms the northern branch in the Danoric Alps from the southern branch. Important. Mark it. Come to the next point. The Caucasus mountains are located between Black Sea and Caspian Sea. This becomes important. Please mark it. On the eastern side of the Alpine mountain system. Next one is also very, very, very important. What it is given? Mount Elbrus in Caucasus, that is which is 5642 meter high, is the highest peak in Europe. So which is the highest peak in Europe? Mount Elbrus, where it is located in Caucasus. Next one is the southern chain of peninsula. What it is given? There are 3 important peninsulas between the Alps in the north and Mediterranean in the south. First one is the peninsula of Italy and Greece. Mark it. Then it is peninsula of Spain. Mark that. Then it is the Balkan Peninsula. Mark that too. These 3 names, the peninsula of Italy and Greece, the peninsula of Spain, and the Balkan Peninsula, these 3 becomes very, very, very important. As you can see, I have kept these 3 names inside a box. Please mark that and keep it inside the box as well. Right? Okay. Let's come to the next point, that is the drainage system of Europe. Now, whatever lines here it is marks, that only we need to mark it. Rest of them we can leave it. In the major rivers, what is given? The European drainage system can be grouped into 3 categories. Rivers in the west, mark it. Rivers in the east, mark it. Scandinavian highland rivers, mark it. In rivers in the west, there are basically 5 given. Mark any 2, that is Rhone and Rhine. In rivers in the east, mark Volga and Don. In Scandinavian rivers, mark, it includes Peshora and Mason rivers. As you can see, these 2 things are given that you need to mark it. And there is one other important thing which is given in Scandinavian Highland, and that is the rivers of Scandinavian Highlands are short and swift flowing. Swift flowing means what? Fast flowing. Hence they are harnessed for hydroelectricity. So the Scandinavian Highland rivers is having one more important, that they are used for the generation of hydroelectricity. B. Lake. Many lakes were formed due to glaciation during the Ice Age in Europe. Lake Ladoga in Russia is the largest freshwater lake in Europe. This line becomes important. Mark it. Next one, Onega in Russia, and Geneva and Switzerland. Important, market. Then Finland has so many lakes that it is called lands of 1,000 lakes. This we have already underlined. Simply keep it inside a bracket and give it a star mark. So students, these are the lines which you need to mark it and which you need to underline in this entire chapter number 7, that is Europe. I hope whatever lines I have asked you to mark, that you have already marked it. In the next class, we will be discussing the map work of Europe. Okay, and after that I will be preparing one more video for you people in order to give you some basic guidelines about the examination, how you are going to write it and how you are going to mark it. Till then, please study and make sure that whatever lines I have asked you to mark down over here, you have marked it. Thank you, children.